Shōgun star Hiroyuki Sanada explains how Hulu and FX's historical epic accurately brings the 1600s Japan setting to the screen with every small detail. The 10-episode series is based on James Clavell's 1975 novel of the same name, which explores three figures in 17th-century Japan crossing paths as a shipwrecked English sailor, a daimyo, and an aristocrat set out on journeys that'll forever change their lives. Among the Shōgun cast is Sanada, who portrays Lord Yoshii Toranaga, a powerful daimyo who has begun his ascent to power amid a changing Japan. In an interview with Salon.com, Sanada opened up about the lengths that Hulu and FX went through to portray a faithful, accurate representation of 1600 Japan. Serving as a star and producer on the series, he explained that rather than having a westernized perspective on Japan, it employed a Japanese crew with extensive experience in historical dramas to ensure every element of the production is authentic to the real-world setting, including props and costuming. Check out Sanada's full explanation below. Will FX and Hulu's Shōgun correct past mistakes? While its cast is fictionalized representations of real-world figures from the era of the Tokugawa shogunate's founding, Hulu and FX's Shōgun is set to not repeat past mistakes when coming to adapting Clavell's work. The novel was previously brought to the screen through the efforts of Paramount Television and NBC in the form of a 5-part Shōgun miniseries in 1980 that starred Richard Chamberlain and Toshiro Mifune and was predominantly shot in Japan. While the show was celebrated in the United States due to it breaking television taboos of the time, it was less well received in Japan. The 1980s version of Shōgun was released in two formats in Japan, a 159-minute theatrical cut shortly after its US broadcast and a TV broadcast a year later in 1981. Neither of the cuts was warmly received. The former version was critiqued for how much was removed to fit a theatrical runtime, and both failed to live up to the quality that Japanese viewers were accustomed to from Japanese production companies. As such, Sanada's priorities ensure the 2024 adaptation is a depiction that can surpass its 1980s counterpart, building on what worked there for a faithful, fascinating exploration of the historical period. Though Shōgun has received many comparisons to the sweeping medieval-inspired fantasy of Game of Thrones, it is clear that Sanada and the rest of the production staff at Hulu and FX made sure their vision of 1600s Japan avoided becoming a westernized, thin representation of a real-world setting. With the production featuring contributions from many professionals with years of expertise in the genre, the show's Japan setting is set to captivate audiences with its depiction of a time of great change. As such, many viewers may walk away from Shōgun with a new fascination with Japan.